everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Fabulous Living with Angela Jones. I'm your host, Angela Jones. Hope you all had a wonderful week. I did. Can I just scream this real loud for a second? Spring has sprung. I need y'all to clap. I mean, is anybody happy about spring? Woo! I'm just glad. I mean, I know we're still wearing winter-ish stuff, but spring is finally here, and I am so excited about that. And that's kind of like today's theme is spring has sprung. So more onto that in a minute. But I would be remiss if I did not at least acknowledge yesterday's march for our lives, that all of the young people, I think the last number that I saw was 500,000 young people that gathered to protest gun violence. And I just think we just need to take 1 minute to just applaud all of those young people yesterday for just standing up and doing what we as adults should be doing, honestly. Many times in history it has shown that it's been the youth that have kind of paved the way. So I applaud those young people, and I stand in solidarity for what they're doing. So I just think it was amazing. So I could not let that go unnoticed. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there. So today, as I said, Tuesday was the first day of spring, and finally, after we had snow on the first day of spring. It's crazy. But it's a nice, beautiful, sunny day here in D.C., and today's show is going to be focused on, the title of today's show is, like I screamed at the beginning, Spring Has Sprung. So basically what I want to kind of talk about today is just some things to kind of get us ready for this new season that we're in. Spring to me is one of my favorite seasons. I love spring and I love the fall. I'm not really a summer person because I don't really like to be really hot and sweaty and all of that. But so I kind of like spring and fall, when the temperature is kind of like right in the middle on both ends. So anyway, for me, spring is a time of renewal. And I just think that it's really important to seize this opportunity to kind of take a moment to refresh ourselves, to renew ourselves. And, spring is about all things new to me. So we're going to be talking about a little bit of all those things as far as our homes and as far as our just us as individuals. So some fun stuff in store, and hope for it to be a very informative show as well. But speaking of all things new, I've decided, I started on the blog and I did it a few times and I never, and I haven't kept it up. But I decided that I want to kind of bring this back. Since we're talking about spring and this sense of refreshing and doing something new, I'm going to bring something back that I did on the blog, and I want to introduce it as a new segment on the show. And I'm going to play with how often I do it. I'm thinking maybe I'll be doing it once a month. But I'm going to focus on some new things, and some new things that are maybe some things that will be new to you, some things that'll be new to me. So we'll kind of, there'll be some new products and things we'll share together. But we're going to have a new segment today that's going to be called Fabuleux Finds. So it's going to be about me sharing different products, or maybe it's a new restaurant or a new shop or something online that I found, and I want to share that with you. So let me get right into some of today's Fabulous Finds. So let me slide this over so we can get it all in the shot. Or actually, I'll just pull everything over. So, few products. One, I want to share. I mentioned the other week that I love Saratoga Springs water. And I said, darn it, I should have brought it. So today, I made it a point of picking it up from Wegmans. Anybody who knows me knows that I love the grocery store. Any grocery store, just about. I love grocery shopping. And I love Wegmans. So, I don't know, I haven't seen it anywhere besides Wegmans, but Saratoga Springs is a delicious spring water. It's really smooth, really refreshing, and I think I've told you guys, those that follow my blog know that I'm a packaging junkie. So I love this in this beautiful cobalt blue glass bottle with the silver cap. I love all that. I love it. Anyway, my family's laughing. They say she has issues. At least it's just water in here. It's not wine or anything. But anyway, this is one of my fabulous finds. It is great. And remember when I was sharing that When you're entertaining and you have like bottled water, you can either use the carafes, and then I think I mentioned that I often use Saratoga Springs water. Well, I love it because it just makes such a pretty presentation. So Saratoga Springs water, it's $1.99 a bottle at Wegmans. Love it. So you're entertaining. Or I just like to keep them in the fridge for myself, but they're very nice to have when you're having guests. And they also make a sparkling one too. So they make this one is still, they make a sparkling one also. So that's another one of mine. That's one of the first finds. Now, another find that I have is I have two beauty finds that I love. I am a little, a bit of a product junkie. I love beauty products and things like that. And one of the things I like to do that I discovered a few years ago, and sorry for the poor manicurist because this has limited me going to the manicurist as often because of this product. It is Sally Hansen Insta Dry Nail Color. And this is their sandstorm shade. So spring to me means like, typically I wear like darker colors in the winter and things like that. But then when spring, summer kind of come along, I want to wear more lighter, kind of fresher kind of colors, pastels and things like that. So this is like a really nice nude. But the beauty of this is that it's Insta Dry. So as soon as you put it on, like within minutes, seriously, like I have... I'm going to tell them myself. I have like been at work and I've been in the ladies' room and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to take a quick break. And I've polished my nails with this Insta Dry nail color. And by the time I get back to my office and I sit down at my desk, this nail color is dry, just that fast. So it's amazing. And they have some really cool on trend and fashionable shades too, which is really nice. So Sally Hansen Insta Nail Color is amazing. And like I said, they have some fabulous shades. And this was under $5 for nail color. So, hey, it's great. Next thing is another beauty product. It's called Beauty and Planet Coconut Water and Mimosa Flower. It's a body wash. And I love this because first of all, it smells amazing. It's made with coconut water, as I said, and mimosa flower. And it just has a very light scent, and it has a nice lather to it, but not too much. It's a great body wash. And I love the fact that it is made, it's a vegan product, so it's non-toxic. It's no dyes, no paraffins, no sulfate cleaners, not tested on animals. Natural coconut water, organic coconut oil. So it's all good stuff in here that you're putting on your body. So I think this is great. And it's a nice way, to kind of, show kind of like an act of love for the planet. So I love this. So 2 last things that I got. I am going to be preparing an Easter care package for my son. He's off at college. He's not going to be able to come home for Easter. So my last 2 fabulous finds are for his little kind of Easter care package. And normally he doesn't end up watching the show. So I can show these things because he won't even see the show to know that he got, it won't be giving anything away. So what I got for him was this nice leather bound, especially with Easter coming up. I got him this really nice leather bound 1-minute prayers for men, and it's great. It's just a nice, quick devotional with a scripture at the beginning, and then just a little bit of I guess narrative, following the scripture to kind of line is in alignment with the scripture. So this is great. So I got this for him for Easter. And I also got this little box of blessings, and it's 51 inspirational cards with 101 promises from the Psalms. And I just think that's perfect with, as we're getting ready to celebrate Easter. And today is, I failed to say, hi, everybody. Sorry. Happy Palm Sunday. So this is another great little thing as we're leading up to Easter. And then I thought, too, I have a couple of friends, children who are going to be graduating from college. So I've decided that I'm going to also go back and pick up some more of these and give these. These would be nice things to add to graduation gifts for young men. And they also have one. I think there was one for women, too. Since I have a boy, I was kind of focusing on him. But anyway, 1-minute prayers for men. So those are my fabulous finds for this week. So as I was saying, with spring, it's definitely, like I said, a time to refresh and to, you want to kind of make everything new. And that includes our homes. So I know no one really wants to talk about cleaning and things like that. But to me, spring is just one of those times where you kind of want to open the windows, and you want everything to smell citrusy and lovely and just floral, and you just want to smell great in your home. And you want to kind of like put lighter things out, lighter pillows and lighter bedding and things like that. So, for me, before I can do all of that, I've got to get down and dirty and get the cleaning done. So what I'm going to do for this next portion is I'm going to share some spring cleaning tips. And my two big things that I like to say is identify some neglected areas in your home and kind of tackle those things first, and then kind of work out from there. And then the next thing I want to say is I think we get overwhelmed when we're trying to tackle a big project. So the other area we're going to focus on is focusing on some small spaces, to decorate or to organize. And I have some really great tips for doing that as well. So again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're going to do another PowerPoint. So Jay, whenever you're ready. All right. Spring has sprung. A time of renewal. So spring cleaning, like I said, we're going to refresh the home. And the first area of focus is wood floors. So as you can see here, I have my little box here, and this is really what I use when I'm going around, I'm cleaning my house, believe it or not. I have my gloves, and then I have all of my little products and things in here that I use. So nobody said that cleaning should be fabulous too, right? You should make it look as fashionable as you possibly can. So the first area we're going to focus on is wood floors. If you have wood floors, I have some really good tips and a really good product for you. So let me tell you, if you have wood floors, this is the bomb. I love Method products. So you're going to see a couple of Method products today. This is amazing. It's a wood floor cleaner. And what I like about Method products is they're all non-toxic too. I've kind of gotten over this whole thing where, our mothers and grandmothers kind of thought that if things weren't if it didn't smell like ammonia and bleach and all of that, like it wasn't clean. Oh, that stuff is so harsh, and it's not good for the environment. It's really not good for us to inhale either. So I've started using as many non-toxic products as possible, and Method is one of them. Another one of the product lines that I like too is Mrs. Meyer's. Mrs. Meyer's products are great too. And same philosophy. It's all natural based and things like that, and not toxic, which is amazing for, like I said, for the planet and for us. But this wood floor cleaner is amazing, and I love it because you simply just squirt. As it says on the bottle, you squirt and mop, and that's it. And your floors come out so just shiny. And I just simply use the floor cleaner, squirt it, mop it, and then I flip the other side and use the other side of I have a microfiber mop, a dry mop. And then I just go back in and then I buff it in just so that, of course, I don't slip and fall down and break anything. So you just kind of want to come behind it and make sure that you've kind of buffed everything out and made everything all, less shiny, so you don't, and make sure you get all the excess product up. But this is a great product for your floors. And it smells amazing because it's an almond scent. And I love almonds, so if you don't like almonds or you can't do anything with almonds, if you're allergic or anything like this, this isn't the product for you. But if you do, it smells really, really good. It makes your home smell so good. So this is great. Next up, the next area of focus is, what's our next one, Jay? I think is it the dishwasher? Yes, the dishwasher. I know you're like, what? Think about it. We use our dishwashers a lot. And how many times do we think to, clean them? The things that we're using the dishwasher to clean our dishes. But if it's, emitting like a funky smell or, it's kind of working overtime to get rid of all the grime and the dirt and everything off of your, the food and everything off your dishes. You need to run a cleaner in your dishwasher to clean it. So my product recommendation that I like, and I don't have them with me, but that's why I also pulled up some pictures too. It's the Cascade dishwasher cleaner. It is amazing. It's a 2-pack and it's like less than $3. You can get it at Target. If you can't find it in the stores, it is kind of hard to find. I can't find it in the grocery stores, but I've definitely found it online and at Target. And it is great to kind of run a cycle like every month and just clean your dishwasher. So that's definitely something that it's a good area of focus in your home. Like I said, you want to kind of get to those places that you don't even really kind of think about, like, I think, to at least start it. And then, like I said, you can kind of work out from there and do the other tasks that you need to take care of. The next area of focus is the microwave. Now, we know the microwave can get gross. It really can. But I have a lovely way to naturally clean the microwave. And you can do it in a matter of minutes. So, you can easily clean the microwave with, you're going to fill a microwave safe bowl, like so, or glass, ceramic, whatever is microwavable, microwave safe, and you want to squirt some lemon juice. And I have some fresh lemons here. Now, these are some lemons that I haven't used yet, so they're kind of, I wouldn't use these at this point for any food or anything like that because they've seen better days, but they're perfect to clean with, so I'm not going to get rid of them. So you can simply fill a microwave-safe bowl with water, squeeze some lemon juice in it, and then you want to take some white vinegar, pour that in the bowl, put it in the microwave, and run the microwave for 5 minutes. You want the water to boil and everything. And then once the microwave goes off, do not open the door. Simply keep the door closed because that steam is going to then kind of get all that excess gunk and everything that you have on the top of the microwave or, on the back of the door, where people didn't cover it, cover their food and stuff is splattered. Put that on there. Like I said, the steam is going to kind of loosen all that stuff up. Let it sit. Maybe I would let it sit for maybe another 10 minutes or so and kind of let that steam just kind of absorb all that, all the crumbs and food and different things that have kind of accumulated in the microwave. Open the door, take a sponge, wipe it out, and your microwave is clean in a matter of minutes. That's pretty cool. I love that. And it is, again, it's something that you can do naturally with all things that you have at home. Lemons, water, vinegar. Vinegar covers a multitude of sins when you're cleaning. There's so many different things you can do with vinegar. And that's gonna, like I said, since this is my first go around with doing cleaning and things like that and some of the other topics that I've talked about, we're going to always hear about, different things again, and some other variation. Of course, not the exact same thing, but we're going to have to talk about the different things we can do with vinegar because there's so much that I think a lot of people are sleeping on that you can do with vinegar. So, next area of focus, the refrigerator. The refrigerator needs more attention than we give it. And think about it. You're housing all of your food in your refrigerator. Everything you consume comes from your refrigerator. So you definitely need to make sure that it is cleaned on a regular basis on the outside, the exterior and as well as the interior. Because think about the handle. How many times you're constantly going in to grab it, to grab the door to get things. I'm always making sure that I use, disinfectant on the door. Like even if it's just the Clorox wipes or anything, to wipe down the door, to make sure that the handle, to make sure that it's staying disinfected. Because think about it, you're constantly going in there. So definitely want to make sure that's cleaned on the exterior. And then on the interior, what you want to do is, and you can do this honestly, and I think people don't clean the refrigerators often because they think that it's going to take a long time. You can really clean your refrigerator in, I'm going to say, in 45 minutes to an hour if you want to do it well. You want to you want to remove all the contents from the refrigerator, put them aside, And then you want to remove every shelf that you can, every shelf, every drawer. And then you want to do the same. You want to wash it all with warm water. And again, you can use vinegar, or you can opt to do, you can do baking soda too. You can do either one, or you can do both, honestly. You can really do the same concoction. You can do the lemon water. You can do baking soda. You can do any of those three things just to make sure that it's nice and clean. I wouldn't use, personally, any kind of product on it. I would use, normally, they say use warm soapy water, and that's it. So I'm saying that if you want to go a step further to make sure it's even more, it's cleaner and it's disinfected and all that, you want to kind of use the soap, the baking soda, and the vinegar and all that good stuff. But you want to make sure that everything is clean. You want to take all the drawers out. You want to make sure that the interior is all cleaned out. And then you want to make sure everything is dry, and then place everything back in the refrigerator. Now, before you put the food back in, we don't want to put food in there. Like, think about, especially all the things that are on your door, like your condiments and things like that. This is a great time while you're cleaning the refrigerator to clean off all those jars, all that, where the jam is on the outside and it's sticky, and, the syrup, all of that kind of stuff. The salad dressing bottles and stuff like that. Wipe everything off, dry it off, and then place it back in the refrigerator. And I'm telling you, 45 minutes, you're done. The refrigerator's done. It's over. Yeah. The next area of focus is bedding. Now, of course, we're all, removing our linen, I hope, every, 1 to 2 weeks. They say, I've read 2 weeks, but I change my linen every week. I'm just particular like that. I don't want to say that word. I'm just particular like that. I just like to strip my bed and just, have a fresh bed every week. Like, I did that this morning before I left for church. I stripped my bed, and I washed my linen, and I'm just going to put it on the bed when I get home this evening. So I do that once a week. But as far as when I'm saying area focus, as far as bedding, I'm talking about like your comforter and your pillow shams and things like that. Those things, you should be at least cleaning them 2 to 3 times per year minimum. And that's it, whether you're throwing them in the wash or whether you're sending them to the cleaners to be dry cleaned. But those should definitely be done about that often. And then the beautiful thing that I like about, especially like with the spring, like to me, it's like I want to, open the windows. I mean, I want it to be like almost like a commercial. Like, I open the windows and these billowy curtains are blowing around and they're nice and white and gauzy, and my white linen is on the bed and everything, and I want it to smell all fresh and clean. So what I like to do too is, and I didn't bring a bottle with me, is like spray, like linen spray. And I normally get it like in a fragrance like cotton or lavender or something citrusy. So it just smells really fresh and it smells like spring. How fabulous is that? So that's that area focus. There is the bedding. So before I jump into the next phase of and final phases of our little spring cleaning segment, we're going to take a very quick break, and I'll be back with you in 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fabulous Living with Angela Jones. So we're going to continue on our spring cleaning journey here. I'm trying to make cleaning sound as you can't really make cleaning sound fun, but I'm trying to make it as interesting as possible. So bear with me. I'm sorry, y'all, but it's got to be done. We've got to do spring cleaning. You'll feel so much better when it's done. Anyway, you're like, lady, be quiet. Anyway, we're going to move into our next area of focus for spring cleaning, which is the closet. Now, this one should be a little more fun. Like this closet, you all know I get like this little closet was like my little dream closet. I was like, oh, look at all the shoes all neatly arranged. And then there was like an island in the middle of the closet. And then it had these fresh flowers. It just looks so pretty. But my closet does not look like that. And I'm sure a lot of us don't have closets that look like that. But I do have a couple of tips for spring closet cleaning. So I have a little bit of a list here, and we're going to run through that. Okay. So first up, allot at least 2 hours for this task. Cleaning your closet is not a small undertaking. So you definitely want to make sure that you're allotting enough time to get it done. And if you have a whole lot of stuff, you may want to at least allot the first 2 hours, at least to get the first phase done if you have that much stuff. But right off the top, allot at least 2 hours. 2, you want to move all winter items to another area in your closet or to a closet in a guest room. Next, you want to take anything to the cleaners that needs to be repaired or cleaned so you're ready for the next season. So all of your winter things, like hopefully soon we really will be able to shed all of our sweaters and boots and leather and all of that, and we can tuck it all away. But you want to make sure that you've looked at everything, make sure nothing needed to be repaired, and then you want to have that all set so that you're ready once the next, because I'm telling you, we know how fast the year goes by. Before we know it, we're going to be digging out. I mean, I know I hate to say that. I'm skipping around. Y'all are like, Ange, it was just spring 5 days ago. Can we like just kind of savor spring? But I'm just saying, to be ahead of the game, you want to make sure that everything is all set so that you're ready for the next season. That was my point. Sorry. So the next thing you want to do is place a donation bag or a box in your closet so you can discard any items that you don't love. So you just kind of want to have a box, and that's what I do. I have a bag in my closet that is just there just for donation. So as I know that something doesn't fit or I'm not really totally in love with something, I put it right in that bag. There's no sense of hanging it back up, and it's just creating clutter in your closet. Simply place it in the donation bag, and do that every season so that, let's say you change your mind. You're like, oh, wait a minute. I think I kind of want to give that another try. So you want to pull it out of the bag and maybe you want to put it back in your closet. But give yourself some time. Like if it stays in that donation bag the entire season, you don't love it. And that's where I am at this point. I don't keep anything in my closet that I don't love anymore. And I'm getting ready to do yet another edit. I just did one in December, but I'm about to do another one because after I've kind of gone through this whole winter, I'm noticing some things are, need to let it go. You're not going, you're probably not going to get back in that. So stop pretending. Put it in the donation bag, Ange. So that's what I'm doing. So you should be constantly editing your closet because I think, our looks evolve. And that's another thing that I'm going to be, talking about too is I'm 49. So I'm going to be turning the big 50 next year. Woohoo! I'm really excited about that. And I just kind of going through this thing where I've kind of changed my hair. I mean, those that have known me know that I've worn my hair short for ever. And I'm kind of going through a phase where I kind of want to grow it long. So I'm kind of changing up my look. Like the look that you see here on my logo, that's how short my hair was. But I kind of decided, hey, I'm going to let go of the perm. I'm going to do natural. I want it to kind of grow longer. I have an inspiration picture in my phone, the whole shebang. So I'm kind of changing. So we all change. Our styles evolve. So if you're finding that your style is changing and you're not really in love with something, pitch it. Get rid of it, and move on to something else. There's a whole section that I have about decluttering on the blog too. So if you want to kind of learn more about like the whole decluttering thing and the whole piece with your closet and how to edit and things like that, there's a what I think is a great blog post on the blog. So you can go to fabulousLiving.com to get that info, and there's some nice tips on that. And then the last thing is you want to make a list of things you'd like to add to your wardrobe for the spring. Like I just did a blog post on spring trends, and we also talked about that a couple of weeks ago when we did the show when we did DC Fashion Week, and I talked about, excuse me, people, I got to make an adjustment here. Okay, that's better. Okay, thank you. So you want to make a list of the things that you want to add to your wardrobe for the spring. For me, I noticed that there are a couple of things, that I wanted. Like yellow was one of the big colors, and I liked myself in yellow. So I made a note, hey, I want to make sure I incorporate a couple of yellow pieces to my wardrobe. So think about the things that you want to add to your, closet to your wardrobe while you're doing your spring cleaning. And one little tip that I wanted to kind of give is that sometimes we go to the dry cleaners and we put things in our closet and we keep it in the dry cleaning bag. Not a good deal. You want to make sure that as soon as you bring things home from the dry cleaners, you want to take them out of the bags because they're dry cleaning your clothes with chemicals and things like that. And then fabrics need to breathe. So you don't want them to all those chemicals to stay in there, getting into the fibers of your clothing and just. Of course, they already cleaned it with it, but you don't need to kind of like seal it in there when you have the dry cleaning bag. So make sure you remove those dry cleaning bags and take everything off those wire hangers. I'm going to do a mommy dearest, no wire hangers, no! We don't want wire hangers. So you want to transfer, and I know it's easy to kind of keep things on the hangers because, but I immediately like to take things off, and I recommend that you take things off the wire hangers and put them onto your whether you have wooden hangers or you have fiber hangers or the velvet, space-saving hangers, you want to move everything over to your hangers there. So those are my little spring cleaning tips for everybody. And again, we'll be talking about cleaning. It's not a sexy topic, but it has to be done because no one, I talked about all that, a fabulous guide to home entertaining. Nobody wants to come to your house if it is not clean. That is not cute. Nobody will visit you if you live in a pigsty. Just saying, you got to clean your house. So spring is the perfect time to kind of do a complete overhaul. So next, as I was saying at the beginning, at the top of the show, sometimes I think kind of taking on like big projects can be really overwhelming and it just can be too much. So sometimes I think it's nice to take on small spaces. So this next little section, portion of the show, as far as like spring and making a little, kind of doing a whole revival for spring, I'm calling it Pretty Little Spaces and how to organize small spaces. And one of the things that I did was kind of decorated and organized my nightstand. And just kind of think about small areas of your house that you can tackle. Organizing your nightstand, organizing your undergarment drawer and making it more organized. I mean, just still little things that'll still give you some sense of accomplishment and you can kind of say, hey, I got that cleaned or I got that organized. You can check it off your list. I mean, you're trying to think you can tackle like, something major like your pantry, or not saying that can't be done, but if you want to kind of get these small little, hits of like feeling like you check the box, then do some small little areas. So I have some pictures of how I kind of decorated, for starters, like the top of my nightstand. So we're going to pull those up. And I'll show you what I did. So what I did was, it was one of those Saturdays, and I was feeling like I want to do something, but I didn't want to do anything too over the top, like moving furniture or rearranging pictures or anything like that. So I said, hey, I'm going to just do my nightstand. So what I did was, as you can see the photo on the left, I just added I had some magazines that I kind of had on top, so I kind of organized those. I had some really pretty fresh flowers that I bought, and I put those in an arrangement, and then I put a candle on top of it. So that was one half of the nightstand. Then on the other side of my lamp, I had bought a carafe. And it's a ceramic tray, and I have a carafe for water. Like during the night, you get thirsty. You may want a little something in the middle of the night. You don't want to have to get up and go all the way to the kitchen and get the water. You have some right there in your carafe. So I have a carafe and a glass that I have some spring water in, and then I have a notepad, and then I have like a journal and a pen, my glasses, and some hand cream. Just little niceties that I wanted to have right there on hand on top of my nightstand. So that's kind of how I kind of decorated, and then the whole finished product is on the is our next shot. Ta-da! Small space decorated, just like that. In a matter of minutes, I had all of that done, and that's what the finished product looked like. So, nice little space, nicely decorated in a matter of minutes. So you can feel that sense of, I can check that off the box. I did do something, to kind of revive, and it's a good way to revive your space. Think about it. Maybe you don't have the money to buy new furniture and buy artwork and do all these different things, but you can do something in a small way in your space. And the nightstand for me was perfect because it was just an area that I can just kind of tackle that needed a little love and attention. And I spent a lot of time like sitting in there reading and things like that. So it was perfect to, just kind of have that small little space that was decorated that's just for me. So it was great. Now, the inside of my nightstand was another story because it kind of ended up being like a little junk drawer, like a lot of us probably use our nightstands for. So I want to show you the before and the after of my little nightstand project, the interior. So before, you can see I had stuff all thrown in there. I had a flashlight, which I need in the middle of the night. The power goes out. That is a good thing to have the flashlight. But I had all kinds of stuff in there. Business cards. There's a Christmas ornament in there. Why do I have a Christmas ornament in the nightstand, people? I don't know. But, it is a White House Christmas ornament from President Obama's last Christmas in the White House. So maybe that counts, maybe no. Okay, anyway. So I had a journal. I had all the things that I needed in there, but they were just kind of all thrown around. But at the bottom, there you are. I just kind of organized everything. I had everything that I would need. I had like the lighters in there for the candles. I had some pens. I have my lip balm in there. Anything that I knew I would just kind of need right away. I have some aspirin, in there if I had a headache, and I already have the water right there on top of my nightstand. A nail file, little things like that. Right there, organized in a little sectioned little tray. And it makes the whole space look so much better. I have a little ceramic tray now that I put my eyeglasses in, so those are in there. And they're right there at my disposal, right there next to my nightstand. So if you want to get an immediate feeling of accomplishment, tackle a small space in your home. That way you don't feel like, I can't do this. This is too much. Okay, it's a little dramatic, but you know what I'm saying. So we are going to take a very, very short break, and but hey, one quick thing I do want to say before I sign off is that think about those other spaces in your home, like small spaces. And I'm going to talk about that again, but go to the blog. There's more details on how I decorated small spaces. I did two. I tackled organizing like my bar cart. And that was part 2. And then part 1 was what you just saw with the nightstand organization and things like that. And I get into a little more detail about things like that and how to organize it and decorate it and all that good stuff. So there you have it. I'll be right back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fabulous Living with Angela Jones. So for this last segment of the show, since we're talking about spring and renewal and refreshing and all that good stuff, I think it's also important for us to think about doing that for ourselves. At the top of the year, I created a life plan. As I shared with you, I'm sure, I think I just said it a few minutes ago. I don't remember. 49, y'all. I don't remember, but I decided to take this year before I turned 50, and I've decided to call this my 50 Eve. I have a lot of wonderful things that I want to accomplish next year when I turn 50, but there's some things that I need to do to prepare for those things. And I kind of got sick and tired of life happening to me, if that makes any sense to anyone. And I wanted to start I wanted to live my life instead of having life live me, if that makes any sense. So I decided that this year I was going to do something a little different. So what I did at the top of the year, I've never been a resolutions person. I don't do the whole resolutions thing, but I decided I was going to create a life plan for myself. And think about it. We plan our days. We plan what we're going to wear. We plan what we're going to eat. We plan our weddings. We plan, we plan our careers. We do all other kinds of things to plan certain aspects of our lives. But just I think it's just important to take some time to look at your life as a whole and plan it out and see exactly where you want to be and create some goals and some objectives and and stick to them, because I really do firmly believe that when you put pen to paper and you write it down, as I think, you all know that I'm a Christian, I'm a believer. So I do believe what the word says when it says, write the vision, make it plain. There's something to be said for writing that vision down and having that. And I have things on my vision board and all kinds of stuff. So what I wanted to do for this last segment is, spring is that time, to begin anew, to start fresh. We're coming to the close of the first quarter of 2018 already. How did that happen? But it's here. And as we know, if we don't take a moment to stop and say, okay, where am I? Let me measure things out from where, maybe you did write some things, but maybe you're not doing so well on keeping up with them. This is a great time to say, hey, let me dial it back, take a look at where things are and reassess things. And, I'm going to show my age, but get on the good foot with it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I just thought that it was important when we're talking, like I said, we'll talk about the easy stuff, our homes and, doing our closets over and, getting a new look and all of that. But let's take some time and get our lives together. How about that? So that's what I decided to do at the beginning of the year. And I did a blog post on creating a life plan. So I want to put up a couple of tips that I have on creating a life plan. And this is all not for naught, because FYI, not going to work next week. No show next week for Easter, because I hope that you will be enjoying Easter with your families, as I will be doing as well. So I'll be taking off for Easter, but we'll be coming back on April 8th, and I have a fabulous guest who is a life coach. And I just figured this is the perfect time, whether you planned anything at the top of the year or if you didn't, this is a good time to say, hey, let me hit the restart button, or let's hit the start button before we get too far in the year. So let's jump right in to tips for creating a life plan. So just a couple of questions, and you can, read these on your own. But first, how would you rate your life on a scale of 1 to 10? Ask yourself if you're satisfied with your life. What is the current state of your life right now? Summarize what's going on in your life. Think about your family, your career, health, business, relationships, your spiritual life, and your emotional well-being. Take some time to really think about that. And I think sometimes we don't, we're kind of just so busy just kind of going to work, raising the kids, doing what we have to do. And, it's great to take some quiet time to assess where you are with things. And think about, what brings you joy. Reflect on what you enjoy. Think about all the things in your life that are going well, and, include, people and activities and things that make you happy. What sucks the life out of you? Ooh. Unfortunately, you do need to take a moment to think about what and who wears you completely out. That's important. You have to decide what's causing you stress or anxiety, and decide if those things, those activities, or those people are things that you need to continue to have in your life. What are the challenges in your life? Identify the roadblocks that hinder you from living the life that you really want. Is it your weight? Is it procrastination? Is it a draining friendship or relationship? Do you dislike your job? Things like that. And then you want to imagine what your ideal life would look like. In detail, describe exactly how you want your life to look like. Take the time to think about what a truly rewarding and fulfilling life would look like to you. I think that's really important. I just believe that we owe it to ourselves to take this time and do this. Because I'm telling you, life will get away from you. It goes by so quickly. If someone were to say to me, like, I just can't believe that I'm going to be 50 next year, it just goes by so fast. And I just think that, again, we are given our lives and we're supposed to be living them abundantly. That's why, we're about to celebrate Resurrection Day next week. And that's why, God sent his son for us to live our lives fully and to live our lives abundantly and to live them, to live it well. So this is what we're supposed to be doing, So yeah, our next screen, Jay, I want to quickly, because we don't have a whole lot of time, but I just want to quickly, did I not include was that it? That was it then. Wait a minute. Oh, there was one more, Jay. At least the tips, the next to the last one before that one. Let's see. If not, that's okay. I can read it all. Don't worry. If you don't have it, it's okay. So, like I said, we pulled all those different questions together, right? And then you want to create, a piece of paper and list 5 life categories. The ones that you rated above, whether it's family, your friends, your job, whatever little areas that you kind of want to tackle. And then you want to kind of put each on a piece of paper, and then underneath you kind of want to put down your action plan so you can execute all those things. And what I did at the top of each piece of paper, whatever it was that I was trying to focus on in that particular area, I prayed about it and I put a scripture that kind of went along with what it is that I'm seeking the Lord for in whatever particular area that was that I had at the top of my paper. And then write a vision statement for each category. And I did that. So I did the scripture, and then I did a vision statement also. At first, I would just kind of do the scripture, but I kind of thought it would be good to do both. So I did both. And I thought about what was going to need to happen for me to get from step 1 to step 2. And I was very detailed about how I got there. I didn't just say, I want to buy a home. I went into detail about what I needed to do to get there. I didn't say, I want to lose 15 pounds. I was like, okay, eliminate carbs, only have a cheat day on Saturdays, walk 15, walk 15 miles a week. I was very specific about what I wanted to do. And you want to make sure that those goals are measurable and attainable, and then you kind of go back and make sure that you do a check-in. So what I did is I created markers for every, month or so to kind of go back and do a little check-in on myself to see where I am and see if I've kind of, met up to the goal, or am I a little bit behind, or what have you. And then what I also did was I identified an accountability partner, because it's real easy to say, I'm going to do it, I'm good, because if that was the case, you would have already done it, right? So if you have someone that will hold your feet to the fire, that's a good thing. And I did identify somebody to kind of help me, that kind of knew exactly what I was trying to accomplish. And, we're doing a little check-in, or I'll kind of say, hey, I'm not feeling that great about this. And they kind of help me to walk through the whole process. So those are the things, everyone, that I think that, like I said, it's great. This is a great time of the year. Like I said, we're wrapping up the first quarter of 2018. And like I said, spring and, to me, Resurrection Sunday are all about revival and resurrecting ourselves, and refreshing ourselves and renewing ourselves. So I think that we can do that as individuals, like I said, through creating a life plan and kind of getting ourselves to the, so we can live the lives that we really want to live. And as I said, stop living below our, my privilege. I have said to myself, in this year of my 50 Eve, as I have so designated it, that I'm going to stop living below my privilege. And I want you all to do that too. We all have lots of God-given gifts and talents that we need to share, and we have, and I feel a lot of us aren't living up to our potential. And I know that was the case with me. So I've decided to make this year all about, doing what I need to do to live the life that I know God wants me to live, and the life that I desire to live as well. So that's my show, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. We got a little spring refreshing with our cleaning. We learned about some new fabulous finds, and we're all set for our guest on April 8th. Remember, going to be out next week, but all set for my wonderful guest, Michelle McKinney. Who is the founder of Dreams Unleashed. So if you want to definitely go and check her out on Instagram, it's dreams underscore unleashed. Check her out on Instagram, and we'll be all set for the Sunday after next. Sunday, April 8th, I'll be back. Have a wonderful Easter, everyone. Blessings.